If you're learning to roller skate, there are 5 skills I'd learned before things like backward skating, crossovers, or transitions. You know, the skills, they're the ones that everyone saves into a reel folder or adds to their things I'd like to learn on roller skates YouTube playlist, because those skills are fun. But one of the biggest things I see beginners do is jump straight into the exciting stuff while skipping the foundations that everything else is built off, which can make skating feel way harder than it needs to be. Because usually when someone feels stuck, it's not because they need more skills, it's because they're missing the skills that make all the other skills easier. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 beginner skills I'd focus on first if your goal is wanting to progress faster on your roller skates. Hey, I'm Tracy, I'm from Suns Out Skates Out, and I teach adults how to roller skate with confidence, both in my in-person classes and my online program, Roller Skate by Sunday. And if you're pretty new to skating, I've also got a free Learn to Roller Skate series, which I'll link down below, and you can go and check that out after this video. Okay, so skill number 1 isn't even a skating movement. And honestly, this catches so many beginners out because I've had students come to a class struggling to balance, struggling with turning, just feeling stiff, convinced that they are just bad at skating or that they need new skates. And then firstly, I'll ask a couple of questions. I'll ask, have you adjusted your trucks? Have you checked your wheel spin? And I'll get an answer like, no, what does that mean? So I'll spend literally a couple of minutes adjusting their skates, and suddenly corners feel easier, their balance improves, and their movements start feeling a lot smoother. So it's a bit like trying to ride a bike when something is rubbing against the wheel. You can still move, but everything feels harder than it should. So before chasing new skating skills when you're learning, go and learn the basic skate setup, like wheel tightness, how to adjust your trucks, how to adjust your toe stops if you can, because sometimes the problem isn't your skating, it's actually just your setup. And this only takes a few minutes, and it can completely change the way that you learn and the way that you progress on roller skates. Skill number 2, weight shift. The next skill is probably one of the biggest things beginners don't realize they're missing, because skating can look like it's all about pushing when actually a lot of skating comes down to where your weight goes. I want you to think about walking for a second. You can't really take a step without naturally shifting your weight first. Skating is pretty much the same, but for some reason, the second people put skates on, they just start looking like this. Bit of a robot. Everything gets stiff, the weight stays in the middle, and movement becomes really difficult. I get it. It makes sense because having wheels underneath your feet isn't exactly something humans are designed to do naturally. So if that's you, that's normal. Learning to comfortably shift your weight from one skate to the other supports so many other skills. It supports forward skating, turning, transitions, backward skating, balancing, because skating isn't standing equally on 2 feet at the same time. It's learning how to confidently move between them by shifting your weight. And this does get easier. I've spent almost 13 years on roller skates altogether. So now I can have these bad boys on all day and they feel like an extension of my feet. But nobody starts there. The comfort comes after spending time learning how your body moves on the skates. And once your weight shifts, it starts clicking, everything else begins to feel a lot smoother. The next skill is balance, but maybe not in the way people usually think. Because when beginners say, I just need better balance, they're often imagining standing on one leg like this without wobbling. But skating balance is usually more about feeling stable while moving. Like when your foot suddenly slips off the side of the curb, or you misjudge a step and your body does that little woo adjustment. You don't consciously think, quick, balance. Your body just reacts. So balance on skates can feel really similar. It's less about staying perfectly still and more about your body slowly learning, I know how to recover here. So learning to comfortably balance over one skate at a time just briefly can make a huge difference, because stronger balance supports all the other skills that we talk about: turning, stopping, forward skating, transitions, and eventually skills like crossovers, which you need balance for. And skating starts to become a lot easier when you can balance on one foot for a slight second and you think, okay, I can do it. Your body starts to realize that you've got it under control and that it's not something to be afraid of. And balance usually isn't something people naturally have on roller skates. It's something you build little by little, and your body starts learning, okay, I've got this, and the balancing feeling starts to feel familiar. Skill number 4 is stopping. The next skill might not feel exciting, but honestly, learning how to stop is one of the fastest ways to build confidence on roller skates. Because when beginners don't fully trust that they can stop, they often skate tense, they're hesitant, and they're just constantly braced for something to go wrong. So think about driving a car without fully trusting the brakes. You'd probably drive really cautiously, you'd second guess yourself, you would avoid any speed and maybe avoid certain roads altogether. Skating can feel really similar if your brain isn't confident in knowing how to slow down. It's really hard to fully relax into the movement and enjoy skating. So learning basic stopping skills like toe stops, plow stops, safe stepping out gives your brain reassurance, and people stop skating quite so tense. They become more willing to practice, more willing to try new skills. Sometimes confidence comes from just knowing if something happens, I know what to do. And that can speed up your progress massively. Skill number 5, edges. And the last skill is one of the ones that's most overlooked by beginners, because I don't think many people start skating thinking, I really need to understand my edges. But edges are so important, more than people realize. And if you're not sure exactly what edges are, your edges are basically the inside and outside pressure points of your wheels. They're what help you steer, curve, and control the direction on your skates. And this is something I see all the time. I have students take off skating, are a little wobbly, maybe grabbing the wall or a friend, but they're moving and they're thinking, yay, I can skate. Then suddenly someone's in their way, there's a corner, they need to change direction or stop. And avoiding any obstacles that might be in your way is definitely not on the table. And all of a sudden things get chaotic, because if you can't comfortably control an edge, turning a corner becomes really difficult and scary, which is exactly why some people swerve, they panic, or they just collide into someone or something instead. Because if there's a wall coming up, we always want to be able to navigate around the corner. Nobody wants to be hitting that wall, right? So when I say understanding your edges, what this means is understanding, how do my skates naturally respond to pressure or changes in my skate, because edges support skills beginners actually want to learn. People often focus on, how do I skate backwards, before learning how do I comfortably guide my skates where I want them to go. And once edges start making sense, skating often starts feeling less reactive and you'll feel much more controlled. So if you're newer to roller skating, or you're feeling frustrated because progress feels slow, I really want you to know, it might not be that you need more skills to learn, it might just be that you need stronger foundations. I'd focus on 1, understanding your skate setup, 2, learning how to shift your weight, 3, building balance, 4, feeling confident in stopping, and 5, understanding your edges. Because those are the skills that make everything else easier. Once those basic skills start clicking, roller skating will feel a lot less overwhelming and you'll start having more fun on your skates. And if you're newer to roller skating and not really sure where to start, I do have a free 5-day Learn to Roller Skate series, which is linked down below, where I guide you through some of these beginner foundations step by step. And if you're wanting to improve your roller skating, watch this video next here, because balance is one of those skills that quietly affects everything else on your skates. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.